Hello everyone, and today I'm gonna be reviewing a film which is featured in the Disturbing Movies Iceberg. This film is in the final tier, in the last tier, and I'm gonna be reviewing Fetus Munchers Volume 2. The reason why I'm not reviewing the first one is because I couldn't find it. So yeah, bear with me. Anyway, when people hear the name of this film, they automatically think that there's cheese pizza in this. There is no cheese pizza in this, there is nothing of that sort in this media, in this film. So yeah, I'm gonna be reviewing this film, I'm gonna be telling you everything which happens in this film. So yeah, let's just jump into this. I have well written 87 segments of this film. There's a lot to uncover from this film, there's a lot of content in this film, there's a lot of minimal segments and there's some big segments, so it was really hard to write everything what is in this film. So let's start with number 1. The film starts with a warning. The warning says, extreme mixtape content. This mixtape uses documentary footage of real violence. You have been warned. Number 2. What the fuck boom video plays, where there's that skull creature laughing and there's a man losing its facial skin. Number 3. World War II footage with the captions F you C-word, the fetus strikes back. Number 4. African war footage of a black man being executed. Number 5. Some sort of a army weapon is shooting and there's some dead people on the streets and inside of mud. Number 6. A building burning and people running away from someone. Probably from the building or someone is shooting at them. Number 7. Dead and alive people are on the streets from a shootout. From a different shootout, not from the same one. Number 8. Graveyard footage where a person gets shot. And number 9. Dead people laying next to each other inside of a room. Number 10. The dead camps of Bosnia, Bosnian wars. Basically we see people which are extremely silly. They're sitting, they're behind fences, there's a lot of dead bodies inside of bags and on the streets. And there's a child which has a bandage around its eye. And there's people laying dead, basically everywhere. Number 11. A woman is holding a skull and she's talking to the skull and she has the skull next to her cheek. Number 12. African war footage. Black people carrying dead and barely alive people. Number 13. Text, which reads out, Fetus Munchers back, you F little C-word. Enjoy the rest of the show. Number 14. Black man licking a cow's rectum. Number 15. Ain't nobody have time for that remix. Number 16. Text. Thought the first one was insane, well you got another one coming. Number 17. Text. Now on Scat TV comes the fecal shower. Enjoy the C-word. And then South Park episode where defecation plays. Number 18. Gusa milk. Basically Asian footage of people defecating eggs, fishes, and the brown bread which we release. After which a couple, a man and a woman, are seen having sex. The woman is covered in brown bread. Multiple people come around and they release milk onto the woman. Another person stands with the woman and defecates more milk. Basically the woman is covered in the brown bread and she gets her body gets more covered with milk. Number 19. Text. Let's mark them P-word, A-word, M-word, C-word. Number 20. Black and white African war footage. A man is crying, they tie his legs up and they shoot him. After which a close-up plays of another man's head being cut off. Also, I want to mention, I'm not sure if the man was like smiling, laughing, or he was crying. Number 21. Footage of a man beating another man to death. Number 22. A burning house, dead people burning cars in Africa, African war footage, dead people being dragged. Number 23. White people which passed away in more painful ways. They passed away all over the place, very similar to Faces of Death. Number 24. African war footage, people in Africa not having arms, legs, basically people which are missing body parts. Number 25. A woman cooking bugs. Basically we see this woman make cookies with bugs, all sorts of food, and we see a child eating the cookies, and we see people which are disgusted by what's going on. Number 26. Barbed wire suicide with a pistol to the head, also featured in Traces of Death. 27. A bus runs over a person on a bike. 28. Hooliganism, war footage, mixture of humans' brutality. People in pain, mostly mobs of people fighting, football hooliganism, generally people fighting. 29. People being burned, fire being used by humanity, and more hooligan footage. 30. A man letting numerous scorpions walk on his body. He even puts them on his face, forehead, mouth, tongue. He basically lets scorpions walk on his body. 31. A man beating another man inside of a prison. 32. 3 men talking until 2 of the men shoot one which is in front of them. 33. Corpses footage, dead people, war footage, people crying, people not having their faces. 34. More acts of hooliganism and war footage, people fighting, people shooting from guns, mixture of acts of violence. 35. A building being demolished, burned houses and buildings being shot, more acts of violence. 36. Footage of millions of bees contained and flying, bees seen eating flesh of a dead animal, supposedly a snake. A man is running away from the bees. 37. More acts of violence, people laying on the streets. 38. Animals being brutal, a dog being eaten by a bear, bears fighting against each other, dogs fighting against each other, same footage from Traces of Death, people killing dolphins. 39. An elephant attacking a man in a circus. The elephant leaves the circus and runs into the town, where the poor elephant is being shot and the elephant ultimately passes away. 40. Humans fighting with a crocodile, chickens fighting, a bear attacking a woman, kangaroo jumps on a man, bull rodeo footage. The bulls are attacking the main character, which is provoking the bull. Multiple footage of bull rodeo, footage of lions eating a human. 41. A picture of a man how he used to look and now how he looks today. His face is totally destroyed, he looks absolutely demolished. His skin is totally ruined, and yeah. This is also used in Traces of Death. 42. Parachute accident. Revenge, a man which basically raped a boy. Basically the man which did that crime gets shot by the father. This video was also used in Traces of Death. Another footage of public assassination, a person being shot on the streets, a woman walking to her daughter's grave where the husband shoots her. This was also used in Traces of Death. 43. Funeral footage where someone supposedly throws bombs at people. Racing accidents, people falling from vehicles. 44. Avalanche footage dropping to a house. Hooliganism footage, more acts of violence. War footage, people fighting, houses being burned. Football hooliganism footage, war in Africa footage, mix of acts of violence. 45. Man with massive balls. This man uses his balls as a table. The man is seen walking with a stick while his balls are hanging. They're massive, they're huge. And there's footage of a man helping the man with massive balls walk up to his house by, going on the stairs. 46. War footage, dead people, burning vehicles, people not having their heads, images of dead people, mix of corpses, man holding another man's head, footage of death. 47. Jeremy Kyle at the end of the day interview. Basically, Jeremy Kyle interviewing people. 48. Bizarre kith footage. Woman pushing golf balls inside of her, fishes being released just backwards, compilation of normal kith, people having, intercourse, mixture of regular and a bit extreme kith. 49. The food of the gods, footage of rats infecting the streets. 50. A woman with massive breasts breaking an object. People dragging organs from an animal, supposedly a cow, a deceased young person, or even a baby is getting its head open. A medical team is examining the dead young person. They open the young person's head, they take its skin off, and they just do their job. This was also used in Traces of Death. 51. Asian woman covers herself in brown bread. She walks on the streets and basically random footage starts playing of everything. There's basically breasts, vehicle crashes, singing, fights, vomit, brown bread, mixture of random footage. 52. Kith footage. Straight kith footage of people having the intercourse. Regular kith, nothing extreme, just kithing. 53. Dead people on the streets. Two men digging a really old corpse from the ground. Footage of skulls on top of each other. 54. Black people getting their teeth cut up a bit, and then black kids basically getting their skin removed from their middle area. This is also used in Traces of Death. 55. More skulls next to each other, human pieces on the ground, bones of dead people, feet, hands, dead African people laying next to each other, more dead people, footage of a man shooting himself in the head, a person dead on the streets in Africa, dead people all over the place. A man stuck against a wall and a fence, passed away with his face missing, and basically people managed to take him out from the position and they put him in a bag. 56. Gusso Milk, Volume 1. A Asian woman releasing brown bread on a man's face, and the man is eating the brown bread. And yeah, he just swallows it. 57. A camel is being butchered, also used in Traces of Death. They open the camel up, and there's people drinking some liquid. 58. War footage, basically a war going on. The woods are being burned down, footage of man cutting a man's middle area, and they force him to eat his junk. And then they cut his face off and mutilate his body further on. 59. Compilation of images which present people dead, most likely taken from Traces of Death. 60. Asian lesbian kith with brown bread. Basically, two women are having basically they kith with each other and they're covered in brown bread. 61. Compilation of dead people and people which are barely alive. 62. A random Muslim footage where basically they stab alive people through their skin, which is some kind of a ritual. 63. Guy training on the streets. He climbs up on a construction along with someone else and jumps. And then we have a moose attacking a man, a child which has a massive deformity on its leg, a man with a skin condition. 64. A live deformed baby with red eyes, taken from Death File Red. A black boy which has its eye stuck against some big red bloody thingy. Basically, his eye is kinda blocked. A male dead found fetus laying on the ground from abortion. 65. Fetuses in a jar, images of deformed fetuses. 66. More shooting footage, men being shot, more hooliganism, more violence, dead people, dead corpses, compilation of death, footage of a bug getting on a dead human's corpse, person without its head, person floating in water. 67. Car crash accidents, and then we have genitalia being fully pierced. Basically piercings attached to genitalia, both men and women. 68. A man without its head, a doctor taking his brain out, eyeball on the ground, legs on the ground, images of dead people in horrible ways, people carrying a fetus out, people taking corpses, more death footage, corpses, blood, compilation of death. 69. A Roscoe the Embalmer. Basically, a Roscoe is cutting open a dead person doing his job embalming a dead person. This is obviously taken from the film named the same. 70. Regular straight kissing. A man and a woman having a intercourse. 71. 9/11 footage. 72. Rodeo footage. Bulls attacking people. 73. Straight kissing. 74. North Korea army leader having a speech. People are clapping, army is walking in front of the leader. Basically just North Korean footage of army in front of the leader and just your regular stuff. 75. Charles Manson having an interview. 76. A man being beaten up full of blood in a hospital, man's head being cut off, another man without his head, people being shot in the head while laying on the ground, man in a hospital with an open face wound, another man with open body wounds. 77. A blood fest, run full of blood, a man lying with his organs open, another man with his half of head missing, man's head or leg cut open, multiple beheaded people on the ground, more dead people on the streets, men being killed, cut by other men in the army. 78. Man being burned on fire, ultimately passing away from the fire. 79. Straight kissing. 80. A human's wound, which has bugs inside of it. A wound which is full of bugs. Another wound full of bugs being treated by medical workers. A man's head full of bugs inside of it. A man's foot full of bugs. Basically, just a compilation of bugs inside of humans. 81. Basically, Asian woman forcefully vomiting, and she then just eats the vomit, and she's just sitting there and eating the vomit multiple times. 82. Muscular woman touching her body, and then we have straight kissing and two women having a prolapse. And then we have Asian woman eating brown bread, compilation of random clips, gore, cars, Godzilla, film footage, and then we have also straight and trans kiss films. 83. Sex gender operation, basically a man transforming into a woman, taken from traces of them. 84. Asian, Japanese, brown bread, kissing, basically, again, two lesbians kissing while they have a brown bread in their mouth. 85. A dead person being examined, then we have gay kissing, then we have the man watching the two gay men having what they're having, and ultimately it escalates in a man having to make out with a woman. 86, which is text. Fetus Munchers 2. The fetus strikes back. Would like to thank all who supported me. Special thanks to Dr. Fetus, Rick Dangerous, Genki Slave, the Demon 433, Self and Skewer 1, people who have inspired me, Mamone 420, souped in fragments. To all my subscribers, I made this with lots of fun in my collection. Flick you, Seaboard, thanks for watching. Fetus Munchers out. While a footage of a dead man being pulled out from some construction. 87, the end. And that's Fetus Munchers Volume 2.